Welcome to the Optimistic M. I'm your host, Michaud, and welcome. So today I want to talk about Christmas. When I bring up Christmas, I want us to talk about more of like Christmas and how I have experienced it over the years versus Christmas, say like the history of Christmas or something like that. Here's basically my story of Christmas. So growing up, in the very beginning, once upon a time, there was a little young lad. Anyway, no, never mind. So, when I was growing up in Chicago, I don't really recall the Christmases there because they seem more of like a blur. Christmas, I guess, for me, didn't really become like something I fully appreciated until I got older. When I got older, my brother and sister grew up, and we moved to Indiana. That's when Christmas for me became something more meaningful. Because as a family, it was the first time we could actually spend time together, and everybody is older. I mean, my younger brother and sister, they were still somewhat young, but as we got older, Christmas became like a grand event. And that's pretty much a lot what I miss about Christmas. Don't get me wrong, the gifts were always great. Like even in Chicago, one of my favorite gifts I ever got was this dog, right? It was like, you remember this dog where you turn it on and it would bark and it would do a backflip, land on its feet. And this is phenomenal at the time. It was like freaking awesome. It's like one of my favorite toys I ever got when I was a kid. And for some reason it just stopped working. I don't remember exactly what happened to it, but I do remember this. I put like paper or something. I was feeding it. I was young. And I think it just stopped working because it got clogged up. Anyway, one of my favorite toys. And it was awesome. When we moved to Indiana, Christmas became like I said, growing up, it became different. Like as a family, my mom and my father at the time, and we all like prepared for this main event. It was like, of course, Christmas Eve, we got to go to bed early because, they got to wrap gifts. Of course, let me backtrack a little bit here. I will come back to that. So, in Chicago, for example, I remember actually the time between Chicago and moving to Indiana wasn't that much because it was around first, second grade time period, right? So I was already young. That's why I can't really remember the Christmases in Chicago because I was too young already. But I do remember my father, he was like always talking about Santa Claus, of course. My mom, with a Christian background, didn't really teach about Santa Claus. It was like, okay, Santa Claus is more of like something associated with, in some parts of Christianity, Santa Claus is seen as more of an idol or demonic entity, something like that. But so I got kind of both sides of Santa Claus, and then again, when I was younger and I asked for this toy wagon, went to the mall or something, I can't remember exactly where it was. Went to this place, and there was a line of kids, if I can remember correctly. I know there was like some kind of line, but anyways, I asked for a wagon, and like a red wagon. I don't know. Seemed like a cool item at the time, right? I wanted a wagon. Didn't get it. And it's from that point where I knew this guy didn't exist. Like, and it wasn't like I was a bad child or anything, man. Yeah, every now and then I would get spanked, okay, for doing something naughty. But overall, mom brought me up to be a good kid. So, and that wasn't really a thought process at the time. My thought process at the time is I didn't get a wagon. I asked Santa for a wagon. He didn't deliver. And guess what? I crossed him off my list because I was like, this dude don't exist. He's a freaking lie. That was my first run-in with Santa not being real. But it's all right because I know exactly who my gifts came from, and that's what matters. And that's what I don't understand. Like, I understand, like, parents, they want to teach this guy, Santa Claus, Saint Nick, Kris Kringle, whoever you want to call him. They want to, like, teach him to their kids for some reason. I don't exactly know why, because, and this is a totally different tangent. I could talk about Santa Claus all day and the reasons why you shouldn't acknowledge something that was made up by Coca-Cola or whatever. But I don't understand why parents want to put emphasis on a force that's not real for their kids. They get gifts from this force that their kids believe, and the gifts are really from them. I don't get that. I mean, somebody please explain that to me, because as an adult, I want my kids to know exactly where they got their gifts from, not some made up fictitious character. That's all I'm saying. I mean, if you see it through my perspective, I don't know. Anyways, that's a totally different tangent. I'm gonna get back to my story. So growing up, and now knowing exactly where I get my gifts from, I appreciated that more, because I knew, I was like, it's not from Santa Claus. Even though when you're younger and you don't really have a concept of like who this guy is, who Santa is, it's like, well, it's pretty cool. But I just think it's kind of dangerous, to believe something like that that's not real, and then like, and why teach something that's false? I don't get it, but I do kind of get it. Again, this will lead off in a different tangent, so I'm gonna keep on point. Anyway, so growing up in Indiana, for example, we all got to appreciate Christmas more because we were as a family, we grew up, and it was awesome. We all prepared for this main event, and Christmas Day, man, you cannot forget Christmas Day for the life of me. It's like, you smell those pancakes, eggs, and I think she put oregano in the eggs. I put basil in mine, but she used oregano. Or parsley, one of the two. But when we smelled breakfast, we knew it was time to wake up. And we knew that when we went downstairs, all those gifts would be around the tree. And it was glorious. As a kid growing up and seeing that, I was like, it was amazing. And that was Christmas for us, for the most part. I don't really have any complaints about Christmas growing up, because it was amazing for me. And there's a lot of less fortunate people out there that they're lucky to even get anything at all. So I was very fortunate. We were all very fortunate to get what we got during Christmas. And of course, it's all thankful to, my mom and father at the time. And recently, as I've noticed, getting older, Christmas is less about the gifts. It's less about the amount of gifts. Of course, it's about the quality of the gifts, but for reals, it's about the family, the friends. And I really don't think there's any Christmas where I can remember actually spending by myself, like with nothing to do at all. I mean, usually, if ever there's everybody else is doing something kind of thing, I usually go to IHOP or something. I'll eat out because that's my time. I'm not gonna sit here by myself and just be lonely. And there's people that do that. Unfortunately, there's people that just like, woe is me. I have no friends, no family, because to be honest, you don't make the effort to place yourself in an environment, or for whatever reason your friends and family are gone, they've left you. You know, make new friends. I mean, some friends I consider family, and I hang out with those guys. And to me, that's the most important thing of all. That's the most important thing to me, is being around people you care about and care about you. But don't get me wrong, though. I will take a Nissan Maxima. That's an entry-level car, and it's pretty cool. But Tesla, if you really want to go high budget, Tesla is the car to get for me. Okay, just put that out there. But no, you know what? I gotta say though, one of my favorite gifts, besides the dog I mentioned earlier, you know, the dog that does a backflip. Was it a backflip? Or yeah, it was definitely a backflip, which is even more cooler than a front flip. No, actually, it was a front flip because that mechanism was on his hind legs, not the front. I gotta find this thing. I gotta look it up. So one of my other favorite gifts was k-nex, where you can like piece together like different things and build like I had a set, so I could build like a vehicle of some sort, like a moon rover or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but my imagination soars. It could be anything I want it to be. But items like that, I mean, that's one of the coolest things. I could build anything. I could build whatever I wanted. I think I could also build some sort of building structure. Came with a lot of pieces. Anyway, those things are not cheap nowadays. Same with Legos. I don't know why they're expensive. Maybe because people want them like hell, but I don't know why the prices have like increased so much on these things, because it's ridiculous. I think honestly, you know, the best thing you can get your child is something they can do with their hands. I mean, sadly, technology is awesome, it's great, and it's fun. I play Angry Birds too, but I don't know if I'd want to give my kid an Angry Birds app for Christmas. Just solely that, because they can't do anything. They can't use their hands to actually build something. They have to look at it on the phone. You know, it's one of the cons of having technology, is we depend so much on it, and next thing you know, we're not using our hands to actually make things anymore. We're just doing stuff. And we're just doing it in some, I guess you can say, a two-dimensional universe, because it doesn't come out of the phone. It's in the phone. You can't touch it. Just something to think about. Gripes about Christmas. I won't say this is more of a negative portion of this, but I will say that the things that piss me off about Christmas is, well, we got people that are just nuts. Like yesterday, for example, I was just pretty much going to the store for groceries. And I also picked up a gift for somebody. For my mom, actually. I picked up a gift for my mother. I'm going to mail it soon. There was just so many freaking people. I go with the Navy Exchange. Now, I didn't go to Target or nothing like that, and I can only imagine that it was a madhouse over there as well. I went to the Navy Exchange because that's what I need to pick up a few items, some hair stuff, some toilet paper, and a gift. Just one gift. And the line was insanely long. One of the gripes, there's so many freaking people. There's so, not everybody's crazy, but it just seems like it's a madhouse of people, just like a zoo of people in a store looking for gifts for people. Now, gifts are great. Don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of people have the wrong idea what Christmas should be about. And maybe I'm just seeing it because I see a lot of people that have gifts. I have no idea what their lives are. I don't know. I just see something. I see a lot of people scurrying about different sales. I mean, nothing wrong with sales. Nothing wrong with shopping. I love shopping sometimes. And when I say shopping, I know exactly what to get, and I get it. Some people shop as an experience. Like, they'll go to a store for a few hours and not do anything at all, but look at stuff. I'm not that person. So, yes, traffic, too many people in one space, it's annoying. But it's one of the things, right? Going back, and I made a video. Well, for some reason I ran out of memory on my camera, so I came on here to make the video because I have more than enough memory on my phone. Plus, I'm going to clear it anyways. But gifts are great, and it's not so much the amount of gifts. Quality is always great. But for me, like I guess my favorite time around the holidays and Christmas or whatever is celebrating with family. And I've already said this before, like a few weeks ago, actually, I went home for Thanksgiving week and had 2 dinners, not just one, but 2. So I had one dinner with my brother and one with my sister. They both couldn't be at the same time, but we all could spend time with mom anyways. And even a third dinner with my brother's sister, or my brother's wife, and my mom and everybody. They had 3 dinners that week. It's pretty cool. So, but they could spend time together, but we couldn't at first because my sister wasn't there yet. Anyways, we had a great time. That's the most important part that I want to emphasize. So don't take it for granted, because you're not always going to have that time. Unfortunately, we get older, time goes on, we all get busy, and next thing you know, we're thousands of miles apart, and getting together is like pulling teeth sometimes, because to get everybody, and I just mentioned an example, to get everybody to come together to have a dinner, not even Christmas dinner, because we already know Christmas dinner is probably not on the menu because you got to work, they got to work, and guess what? Your job wants you there on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, so flying that day is probably going to be 3 times as expensive as flying on any other day. So you can forget about it. So enjoy the times you have when you can get it. And some people are more fortunate than others. They can just have Christmas every year if they want with their family. They have the money, they have the means, their job, they own the job, you know. And that's great. One of these days, I'm going to be that person. I'm going to be like, hey, man, It's my job. I do what I want. A lot of people, a lot of Chinese people I know, well, know or not know, but Christmas isn't that big, so it's more of a New Year's. They go home. And when I say go home, they go back to China for family. I want to make some kind of like tradition where I go back home like every year, not just for 1 year, every year. And celebrate like a week of Christmas, not just like a day. I'm talking about a week. One of these days, I'm going to do it. And not even Christmas. I'm not even a big Christmas person to begin with, if you guys didn't know this. I'm not going to go into my whole beliefs structure behind Christmas being, a Christian holiday or not a Christian holiday, whatever. I'm saying this. I'm saying that I don't celebrate Christmas like most people do. Not anymore. I'm more of a people person, more of like, gifts are great. I will receive gifts. Send me gifts. But seriously though, I'm trying to get away from the Hallmark mentality of having to buy gifts for everybody and go crazy about it. I don't think Christmas or any holiday, for example, should be that stressful. And actually, I kind of failed to remember to mention this earlier, but I can remember also like some of the things that we did for Christmas changed over time. Like instead of opening our gifts on Christmas, or instead of like opening all our gifts on Christmas, we would open one the day before, and we changed it up. We changed our tradition. And you know what? That's what made it cool. It wasn't about, we should follow this laid out thing some guy or some person made thousands of years ago because that's what everybody else does. No. We started doing different things, and it became fun. It became more fun. So even now, my last Christmas I spent with roommates. We had, I guess this is like the most recent new thing for me because I didn't know anything about the pink elephant or the Secret Santa. So we had a pink elephant thing for my job, and then we had a Secret Santa at one of my roommate's friend's place, and that was pretty fun. We'd all get a gift, and actually we're doing it this year too. I'm doing it this year with my roommates, and my roommates inviting their friends. So everybody that's coming, that's participating, is on this list of Secret Santa. And there's a site called Elfer that she used to do this. So she doesn't actually know who's giving gifts to who, which is pretty cool. So it's all random. So that's going to be fun. But Elfer, look at elfer.com. I didn't know anything about it to this year, but it's pretty cool. And if you can use that for future Secret Santas. But that's the newest thing to me, like the Secret Santa, the pink elephant thing, or the white Christmas, I don't know. There's so many different things out now, it's crazy. The perks of being a millennial is doing things differently. And if Christmas ain't fun, do something different. I'm not saying I don't celebrate Christmas. I celebrate Christmas differently. That's all. I don't think it should be about the gifts. I don't think it should be about how many gifts you have, how many gifts you can give somebody. But the thought does count, and kids, for the most part, that's all they know. So, in a sense, really, it's kind of their first, their first view of giving. But for them, it's actually receiving. So there is a lesson in that. You can teach your kids how to give instead of receive if you do it right. So they don't become spoiled brats, Anyways. That's Christmas for me. talked about my gripes about Christmas. I talked about my experience growing up with Christmas and everything. And, you know, I guess to conclude, because I have to eventually wrap this up, and I'll be wrapping up gifts later. But in all seriousness, no, there's some people that don't get to celebrate with family for whatever reason. I mean, they could be military and they're overseas. I mean, I did that. In fact, one Christmas I was in Singapore and it was freaking sweet. The only thing that would have made it better was, of course, spending it with family. But at the time, I was spending it with my military family. And not the family that hosts Christmas, but my actual comrades and coworkers that I worked with at the time. I don't know if it was Christmas, but I know we ended up going to Hard Rock Cafe. And that was pretty fun. No, it wasn't Hard Rock. It was Hooters. Yes, they have Hooters in Singapore. I don't know why we went there. There was so many other places to go, but anyways, we went to Hooters in Singapore. Whatever, I don't know. The point is, not everybody gets to spend time, or some people don't even get gifts for Christmas. I think not last year, but the year before that, there's this site called Samaritan Purse. I'm trying to remember the actual name of the site. Anyways, I'll post it down below. What Samaritan does, it's a charity organization. They take basically contributions. I think you can actually pick a gift to give, like, to somebody that's less fortunate, for example. And you can pick that gift and they'll send them that gift. They even have like pictures. Like you can take a picture and then that person will get your picture and then you can get a picture of theirs, and like when they get the gift, like your picture will be in there, so it's actual proof like they actually got it. It's not just like, oh, they take your money and run with it. No, they're actually pretty good about this thing. And I did it once. I don't think I did the picture thing because you have an option. You can not do the picture thing, but at the time there was a major flooding or something in the Philippines, and so I participated in that charity event that Samaritan Purse. I think it's Samaritan. I'm pretty sure it's Samaritan Purse. I don't know. That's the only name I can think of right now. I'll put the real name below when I'm done processing this video. But I did it this in 1 year, and that was my Christmas present to a complete stranger. So you have that option if you want to do something like that for somebody, and lighten up somebody's day that lives on the other side of the planet. Or sometimes it don't even have to be that. You can. There's people that are closer that you could probably make them happy. Buy them a meal or something. Like a friend that you think may be spending Christmas by themselves for whatever reason. Buy them a dinner or something. Take them out. Buy a coffee or something. But it's, yes, gifts are great. I'm not saying they're not. I'm saying that the whole season should be more about the connection that we're making, family or a complete stranger. That's what I think. You could totally have a different opinion about what Christmas is. You could totally be, the zealot or whatever, atheist, whatever you look at the holiday as being, have fun with it, and have fun with people you care about, people who care about you, and remember those moments, because they're not always going to be there. Unfortunately, as the world turns, we all grow older. We all age. Eventually, we won't be here anymore. It'll be our kids, it'll be our grandkids. I didn't want to end on a sad note, but I just figured I thought I had to say that. So I won't end on a sad note. So whatever you do with Christmas, or whatever you call it, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, season's greetings, whatever, winter festival, what was it, winter solstice, if you celebrate winter, or whatever you celebrate, have fun doing it, and have fun doing it with family and friends, people you care about, people that care about you. And if you're going to buy gifts, that's the thought process you should have going into that gift. That's the thought process you should that's the thought process you should put in getting that gift for those people you care about. It's not just because. It shouldn't be just another traditional ritual you do. It should just be about you and what comes from your heart. Make it something worthwhile. Hell, last year we didn't even have a Christmas tree. We do now. Different roommates. But I could care less if we had a Christmas tree or not. But what pisses me off about Christmas is the fact that people buy real trees. And again, going back to tradition and all, they don't think, there's no second thought to what that does to the planet. We're going to chop a tree down for an event that's going to last for a day. Yeah, they may have it up for a week or two, but we cut down the Christmas tree for this. Think about it. And we're talking about millions of Christmas trees. Or I should say pine trees. Because they were pine trees. They were shrubbery before they became Christmas trees. Remember that next time. What a holiday can actually do to the environment. I'm all for fake trees. And again, it's another ritualistic thing. It's a tree. Again, I'm not going to go into history of where Christmas came from, but I'm just saying we should really use our heads a lot more when it comes to celebrating these events. It shouldn't be about, I'm going to do this because some guy 10 years ago did it with his family. So we should automatically do the same thing. We should cut more trees down because there's more people on the planet. You get what I'm saying. It's nice, but you gotta use your heads. We gotta use our heads as a people, as a planet, as a society. We can't keep doing this. It's changed so fast, I know. But reality. Anyways, I'm just saying, have fun. Don't be stupid. I'm most likely going to be driving, so I'm going to put my Lyft referral code below so you'll get some money off if it's your first time taking a Lyft. I got to figure out what my code is for Uber, but I'll get back to that later. Anyways, be smart, be safe, have fun, and thank you for coming. If you like what you're seeing here, please like, subscribe, and share with somebody that you think will benefit from watching this. It's been real. I'll most likely make another video before Christmas, more Christmassy, maybe even a live video. We'll see. But thanks for tuning in, everyone, to the Optimistic M, and I will see you later. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Winter, whatever you will celebrate. Happy holidays. Cheers. You know, some other fun things about Christmas for me is actually one year I decided to start a business, gift wrapping business. So I researched a little bit and different ways to wrap gifts and stuff like that, and I was quite good at it. So I decided, why not start a gift wrapping service right in my mother's place of employment? And it's perfect because people work, they don't have time, so I provided service, they pay me for that service, both happy. But aside of that, though, as I got older, I would help my mother wrap gifts for my brother and sister. And so that became fun, and actually knowing what they got for Christmas. And then, and then when they got older, they started wrapping for me. So it's like everybody wins kind of thing. We start helping each other out. It's like I'll wrap, it's pretty fun. But other things about Christmas, there's holidays that I like is anything pumpkin spice. I like anything pumpkin spice because that's like one of my favorite things. Recently I had some pumpkin spice pancake mix, and I can't find it anymore for some reason. I guess the season is gone. But I have seen some butterscotch pancake mix. I have never tried it, but it's a lot of pancake mix to make before, because I'm only one person. So I might try it one of these days. I mean, I'm not gonna knock it. I'm just saying I'm not sold on the butterscotch yet. And of course, eggnog. I mean, who doesn't love eggnog? I mean, this is like part of the whole deal, it's a whole package deal. Eggnog, pumpkin spice. I mean, who doesn't like that stuff, right? And of course, eggnog with the good stuff, not the virgin eggnog. Even though they're both good. Eggnog by itself is still good, even if you don't have the alcohol. I'm not saying you have to drink alcohol to have fun, but I'm just saying. Anyways.